You open up your wallet to make that donation to charity, but how can you be sure it's not a scam and that your donation is actually going to the people that you want it to help? Well, here today to help you figure out how to check out a charity before you give is Kevin Scally. He is the Chief Relationship Officer for Charity Navigator. We're here to also answer your questions. You can text your questions in to 336-379-5775. All right, so Kevin, first and foremost, let's just kind of talk about this. If folks are not familiar with Charity Navigator, what is it and what do they do?
Yeah, Charity Navigator helps millions of big-hearted individuals connect with the causes that they care about. So we rate more than 225,000 charities. So that way, when you're looking to make a donation, you can make sure that it's being used efficiently and effectively and going to an impactful organization.
All right, and so you guys look at the financials, you look at the administration, look at the programs, you look at all kinds of things.
We look at all the things, we look at everything from the actual impact that the organization is making. So, for a direct service organization, how many people are they serving, in what way, and what differences are they making? We're also looking at their financial health and accountability and transparency metrics, and also looking at equity and leadership. So really to just provide a comprehensive overview of their overall effectiveness.
All right, so with that said, what kinds of questions should we as consumers be asking before we make a donation?
Yeah, I think the important thing is that you're asking, what are the questions, right? We only have about 30% of donors that are actually doing any sort of due diligence before they give. And the risk there is that they're potentially leaving money on the table, or, potentially at worst, supporting some organizations that, aren't on the up and up. So the biggest thing that I can tell you is to give with your heart, but also give with your head. And that means doing a little bit of due diligence before you give. I'm happy to dig into that if that's helpful.
Okay, we will absolutely do that. We'll kind of unpack it as we go. Let's hit a couple of other points of things that are very common when it comes to charities. A lot of times people get emails, they get phone solicitations, they get texts. Is this something that we should be wary of, or is this something of, oh yeah, this is just how people do business?
It's how business is done in a lot of different sectors, but I would say that the big thing is just to think before you click. Is an organization that you've ever had contact with before, you have any sort of connection, you've supported before? If the answer is no, or I don't know, I would say don't click on it. It's okay to do a little bit of research and find out if it's a valid nonprofit and if it's worth supporting. But again, just exercise some caution.
All right, so with that said, how can people check to see if a charity is legitimate?
Yeah, so when you're getting reached out to, you can go to the IRS, you can do a search there. Better yet, you can even go to Charity Navigator. We have the full IRS business master file. So if it's a real charity, it's going to appear on our site. And like I mentioned, we have good coverage in regards to the organizations that are rated. We don't charge donors to access the ratings, and we also don't charge charities to be rated. We're a nonprofit too, just like the organizations that we rate. And so simply you can just punch the organization's name in, and you should find them. And they will have a specific ID. It's called their EIN, and that's how you can uniquely identify them. And then from there, you can start to look for trust indicators like their ratings.
Gotcha. If you're on a website, their official website, what should you be looking for when you're on a charity's website?
Yeah, again, you should be looking for good trust indicators. I would certainly be looking for that padlock in the upper left corner that you're on a secure website, that it's actually the website that's featured in their IRS Form 990. So that's the annual tax filing. Most organizations do include their website there, so that way you can actually validate that it's the official website. We make that readily accessible right on Charity Navigator, so that way you don't have to go sorting through any sort of forms. And then from there, you want to make sure that when you are clicking to donate, that you aren't being redirected somewhere else that doesn't follow the same experience that you're anticipating.
Mm-hmm. Should you be looking for what they say they do with like their services or that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, you want to look for a really clearly articulated mission. How are they actually delivering on that? Do they have any sort of kind of proof in which that they're presenting that? A lot of times, they should have that right on the homepage of who we are, what we do, how we do it, testimonials from maybe the people that they serve. And then in addition to that, certainly looking for trust indicators like a Charity Navigator rating, which most organizations that are well rated will proudly display that on their websites as well.
Gotcha. Now, there might be a couple of people at home who are thinking to themselves, man, that just sounds like a lot of work for me to have to research through all that.
I mean, I would say that most people are doing research in regards to, before they're going to a restaurant or before they're buying a product online. And so, within a matter of, I would say, probably 30 to 60 seconds, you can do a quick search. Again, we'll provide an unbiased rating. We also issue alerts. So this is any sort of reported or confirmed misconduct. And if you see that they're a 3 or 4 star charity, they don't have an alerts, they align with your passions and your values, you can feel good about giving.
Yeah, that's so true. We definitely look at ratings for our restaurants before we go out. So why not look for the charities ratings before we give our money?
That's exactly right. Yeah, when you're giving your money, you're essentially trusting them, and you want to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of because you're not getting anything other than the warm glow that comes with giving, and tax deduction, of course, if you're supporting a 501(c)(3) charity. But yeah, certainly take the 30 to 60 seconds to do some validation and make sure that you're making a smart choice so you can feel good about.
All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to be taking your questions when we come back. 336 379 5775.